Birmingham Sports
with Ben Ellis.
This is BHBN Radio.
It is the Monday after from Birmingham Sports, BHBN Radio. It's the sports team getting together to review the weekend's action. We're a day late, and we do apologise for that. Circumstances were well beyond our control to record the programme, but we are here, and even if it is a delay, it's not as if there's not been anything going on. I mean, there's plenty we can talk about. I'm here with Jonathan Wimbush, who, as we're recording, is getting ready to watch West Brom at Leicester. So as we're speaking, we don't know the outcome of that one yet. Kim Smith, who was at Blues' fabulous victory against Coventry on Sunday. Enton is with us as well to give his sharp view on the weekend's action, and we'll have a look at what happened at Villa Park as well. We had a double header on BHBN this past weekend, but we're going to start with the second half of that double header because, yes, it happened. It only took until the first game of 2026, but Wolverhampton Wanderers have their first win of the season in the Premier League. And it's so bizarre, this, in a way. It's taken them 20 matches to win in the Premier League, literally doubling their points total from 3 to 6. But most of us were not particularly surprised that they won on Saturday, and I think it tells you more about where West Ham are. But it was quite the first half. Listening in, Kim, we were I was at Villa Park, and but the coverage was excellent from Andrew and Ed. But yeah, it was some first half at Molineux.
Yeah, definitely, and. Well, you've got to wonder if Wolves can now keep that up, because if they can pop in a few more like that, maybe they're not going to go down with Derby's total. But because we had been saying that we thought Rob Edwards was actually starting to make a difference with the team, because obviously they played well at Man United, they actually played well at Arsenal. But they sort of did it in style, didn't they, on Sunday?
They really did, and it was
Saturday.
Saturday. It was the young lad Mane, wasn't it, who has caught all the headlines.
Yeah, definitely, and it's got to give them a huge confidence boost, hasn't it? And you just hope they can now pick that up and run with it and get themselves a few more points. Hope
is the word, Jonathan Wimbush, that they probably want to avoid, actually, because they do say it's the hope. It's the hope that kills you. But there was a genuine fear, John, wasn't there, that they might not have won a game this season. That's how bad it was getting. And unfortunately for Wolves. And we're going to talk about national narratives a bit later on when we talk about another one of our teams. The focus is on West Ham and how bad they were. And, well, oh, God, they must be taking. Wolves can beat them. There must be something really bad going on there. But they were the better side. They took their chances. The crowd were with them. And it's not Wolves' fault that West Ham are a complete mess.
No, it's not. And, West Ham, they've got their own troubles. Nuno, obviously, going from Nottingham Forest to West Ham, and both of them are in the mire at the moment. We'll probably get onto that a little bit later on. But yeah, West Ham, it's all gone wrong for them. And, this is the second time. I know it's Wolves' first win in the league, but this is actually the second time this season that Wolves have beaten West Ham at Molineux, because I was there at the Carabao Cup game where they won by 4-2, I believe it was. It seems that Wolves have West Ham's number, and the other team that they've beaten this season in the Carabao Cup is Everton, who they've got next. So
yes.
You never know. They might actually do 2 in a row, but I wouldn't hold my hope. I wouldn't hold any hopes out for 2 in a row. Sorry, Wolves fans.
Well, that Carabao Cup game a few months ago, Graham Potter was still in charge at West Ham, but the scenes at the end were similar from the West Ham fans and the players. I believe there was an incident with Jared Bowen in the cup tie at the end of all of that. Enton, your considered view, is it just a case of see where they end up, Wolves? Because I'm a big believer in that if you finish one season strongly, you start the next season strongly. Now, even if they do go down, if they go down almost in a positive frame of mind, that will stand them in good stead for a tilt at coming straight back up.
But definitely, I think it's more to do with like now is that you know what's going. They know they're going down, so there's nothing going to stop that. So it's given almost like a free license now to, as every game comes along. It's, do you play with more freedom? Do you play to then like encourage the players to go out and play with themselves and just don't like try not to worry about what's to come? But you can't. It was so. I felt relief for the Wolves.
I did too.
It was so nice because I was at the studio with Phil, and you were obviously commentating on it, and I was just thinking, Wolves' home form is pretty good, I think. So I just wanted them to win because I'm not going to have to upset West Ham fans, but I probably will do. But
don't care. Honestly, you upset them as much as you like.
Who actually likes West Ham?
Exactly.
West Ham
West Ham don't even like West Ham at the moment.
Sorry,
West Ham fans don't even like West Ham. They don't like the stadium. They don't like the owners. They can shove their bubbles up there. They can shove their bubbles up there, you know where, as far as they're concerned. So you carry on.
They're forever blowing them, aren't they?
Yeah.
So that's the thing. But the thing was, it was good that for me, and from looking at it from as a football game, the context of it, the early goal, I think the noise that came back into the studio was incredible, and that was what I think that early goal. I think it gave the players a bit the confidence, and I thought, right, okay, well, we can go and just go and see what the outcome would be. Just play with more freedom, and then obviously the commentary between you and Ed was just fantastic.
Well, mate, I wouldn't know. I was at Villa. I can't take credit for this one.
Not you.
No, yeah. I was on the rubbish commentary at half of the rubbish commentary, the rubbish half of the commentary at Villa. Just try and dig ourselves out of this hole that I've got into here.
But it was good. It was good for the crowd. It was good for the fans. But it was also good for the manager as well. I think there's so much doom and gloom, and it was just nice for him to get the win. But the way they got the win,
absolutely,
was great. So that's going to lift something, isn't it?
Yeah, I would say we were in the press room at Villa Park. So Villa Forest had just finished, had the press conferences, and Sean Dyche and Unai Emery had left, but obviously the press people were still hanging around. It was too cold to go outside, quite frankly. But there was a genuine buzz around the room as the word was coming. Wolves are winning. Wolves are winning. Yeah, it's 2-0 now. 2-0 now. Is it 2-0? Wow. And then it's 3-0. And what could stand them in good stead as well, as Jonathan mentioned, away at Everton in this round of midweek fixtures. What a pasting Everton got from Brentford on Sunday at home. I mean, there are some settling in problems at the Hill Dickinson Stadium at the moment. You know, Goodison Park, this really tough place to go. Now they've got this brand spanking new stadium that people are going to enjoy going to, and I think Everton are trying to find finding out that that's a bit of a problem for them, and maybe, who knows, Wolves can take advantage. It's the Monday after from Birmingham Sport, BHBN Radio. We're going to talk more about the Premier League a little bit later on, but we're going to turn our attention to the Championship very shortly, and a return to winning ways for Birmingham City.
BHBN Radio has been going since 1952. It is run entirely by volunteers, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. Right now, BHBN needs friends like you to ensure it can broadcast to hospitals, care homes, and into the community for many more years to come. You can help by donating through our Just GoFundMe account. It's easy. Simply go to our website, bhbn.net, scan our GoFundMe QR code, and in a few clicks, you can help us out. If you're a taxpayer, you can give 25% more through gift aid at no extra cost to you.
BHBN Radio.
It is the Monday after from Birmingham Sport, BHBN Radio, and amongst all of the great things that you can listen to on our YouTube channel and TikTok page, the highlights from the matches that we cover, it includes Birmingham City 3, Coventry City 2, a humdinger at high noon at St Andrews. Great game too. I watched that. I didn't watch Leeds and Man United. I watched this one because I thought it was terrific, and Kim was there, and well, the new signing Kai Wagner, instant hit.
Well, yeah, 6 minutes into the game, setting it up for Marvin Duksch. Great attack by the Germans. We've got quite a good German contingent in the team now. But yeah, he made his presence felt immediately. Ended up being a brace for Marvin Duksch, who'd gone off the boil a little bit, but all in all, it was a really good game. Coventry fans had been saying that they thought their team looked a bit leggy and tired. And of course, they suffered by having the likes of Victor Torp and Brandon Thomas Asante out. But Blues just kept on going. First goal for Jason Kumas as well. And of course,
Lewis Kumas, Kim. Lewis Kumas.
Lewis Kumas.
We keep calling him by his dad.
No,
Jason
not his
played
dad.
for us.
Lewis Kumas.
Yeah, great first goal for him, because he has actually come in for quite a bit of criticism in the last few weeks since he's been at Blues, because he's done lots of running, but it's never been sure that he knew when to cross the ball. He's got knocked off the ball easily, but he goes and bags himself a goal. And just a really good, much improved Blues on that terrible display against Watford a few days previously, where they really got turned over by Watford, and the whole team looked limp, and I don't know whether it was too many mince pies or whatever, but they certainly pulled themselves back into it yesterday dinner time, and it was a really good showing to a packed ground. And as Ben said, it sounds as though it's quite good for the neutral as well.
Yes, it certainly was. A couple of notes that I made watching it. I wondered if it had a real effect from Chris Davies. I mean, he called the players out after Watford. I mean, he really did. He really did publicly hammer them and say this is not acceptable and it's not us. And so possibly there was a reaction there. Could it also have been? I mean, the finishing was terrific. I mean, the two finishes from Marvin Dutch and Lewis Kumas as well from an acute angle. Do you think Marvin Dutch was like, okay, Jay Stansfield's injured, I've got to do it? And sometimes footballers are simple people, and it's like, let's not overcomplicate things. I have to be the main man now, and he stuck his hand up and performed.
Yeah, because obviously Stansfield was back in, but he'd had a dead leg, which obviously, while not serious, is blooming painful. Maybe he did just take the decision to step up a bit, and he certainly did it with style. I mean, two really good goals from him. And also yet another good performance from Patrick Roberts as well, who was instrumental in getting the ball forward at various times as well. In fact, set up the third for Marvin Dutch.
Absolutely, and we're not going to go into too much detail here about the January transfer window, because we have a different show for that here called A Window of Opportunity, which has gone through a lot of the transfer dealings, done deals, and plausible rumours as well. Ed Mackay is at the forefront of that show. You can find it on our YouTube page. But Enton, I mean, what now for Blues? Do you think that this could be the turning point for them? I mean, it seems to me that they have like patches of about 6 weeks where it's awful, and then they'll go on a run for another 6 weeks, and they go back to being awful again. Is this the start of that new run now, which will take them into the new year? And I mean, FA Cup this weekend, isn't it? Away
Yeah.
at Cambridge, isn't it? So that result against the league leaders, could that be the start of a good positive run for Luton? Not that far off the playoffs in terms of points.
Well, most definitely. I think it's one of them games when you're playing your local rivals, and you know that every player's going to be, even the Coventry players, that both teams, all players, going to be up for it without a shadow of a doubt. So, and the manner they won it as well, like a 5-goal. Was it a 5-goal thriller?
5-goal, yeah. Yeah.
So it's going to take a lot of as a professional footballer, games when you win games against your local rival with a smiles. So how they bottle that up for the next game, it's all about confidence. Footballers are all about confidence. If their confidence is sky high, they will shine for anybody. So all I will say is that they need to bottle that up. Whatever their preparation is in the week, whatever they do at home together as a squad, they just need to realise that they've beaten the league leaders, their local rivals. So as a footballer, you want the next game to come so quick because you're on a high. It may well be that the FA Cup, it could be that next game where they can, on paper, they should, and in theory, they should win it. So if they have to, this second game now, that should
honestly,
go in. Sorry, go on.
I'm not convinced it'll go ahead if this cold snap continues.
Yeah, good point.
If away in all games in League Two were postponed on Sunday.
Yeah.
Here we go.
For frozen pitches. So that is a possibility.
Confidence-wise, like you know yourself, Ben. That's a big result. So they're going to be walking in the Birmingham ground around the city with their shoulders high, the chest out, their smiles bigger. So a lot of confidence taken and going into the next game. Should it be available?
Absolutely. I mean, it is. Like I say, it is bitterly cold at the moment all across the country. Not that bothered Ed Mackay at Molineux on Saturday when he did the team news video. I had a theory completely. I mean, he was in a t-shirt, and all that kind of. Smeared himself in goose fat like people who go swimming on Christmas Day. Quite frankly, but no, that was high. I had 3 layers on at Villa. Right, and I see this video come through from Ed Mackay. All right, fair play to you. So back to the football. Blues obviously get a big result as we're talking tonight. West Bromwich Albion a little over half an hour away from a game against Leicester City. John, I've got to be careful how I phrase this question. Will Ryan Mason be grateful that the home team in this game are under as much, if not more, scrutiny than he currently is at the moment?
Well, I don't think so, because with West Bromwich Albion, the Baggies fans are getting on top of the club a little bit. With certain results, 9 away defeats in a row, and it's another away game tonight. So it's going to be a difficult one. And Leicester City, one of the relegated teams from the Premier League, that was relegated last season. So it's one of those where normally, the King Power, West Brom have been unbeaten in the first 7 visits to the King Power Stadium since it opened. But since then, they've lost the last 2 away games against Leicester. So all the pressure will be on West Bromwich Albion. And I believe it would be a club record 10th away defeat in a row if they are to lose tonight. So, Ryan Mason's under all sorts of pressure. But, the talk is about which manager is going to be under the most pressure. And, I think, whoever loses this game, that might be their last game for their respective club, I'm afraid.
It's possible. I mean, I was flicking between Bournemouth and Arsenal and Sheffield United and Leicester on Saturday evening. Leicester were abysmal at Sheffield United. So that would fill me with some kind of confidence. If West Brom can maybe score early, maybe Eggerbo, although he's gone a bit quiet the last couple of weeks compared to the streak that he was on. If they can get ahead of the game and have something to hold on, this is another problem as well. In the 9 games that they've lost, a lot of the time they're losing them to nil, or they're going 2-3-0 down before. They're not taking the lead in these games to hold on to anything. And so I'd like to see what they can do if they can score first, and see what kind of pressure that they can put under. Coventry's obviously the different example a few weeks ago where they went 2-0 up, of course. But that's not something they tend to do. But if they can get in front at Leicester, toxic atmosphere, Marty Cifuentes, who, he should be. It shouldn't be a football manager with that name, should he? Should like open a restaurant or something and like play a violin, But if they can get ahead of the game, and because we're yet to see away from home in detail how Ryan Mason, and fans might be losing a lot of faith. We're yet to see how Ryan Mason can manage the team away from home in front. We got a glimpse of it at Coventry, but we haven't really seen it.
Yeah, and I completely agree with you, Ben. The first goal in this game is going to be absolutely crucial. If Leicester get it, then of course the Albion fans will be getting on Ryan Mason's case. It was the league leaders away at the CBS Arena, as you mentioned, where Hegebo scored twice in the first half, went 2-0 up at one point, but lost that game 3-2. And that was against the league leaders. There
was a red card there, though. There was a red card there, though, wasn't there?
Yeah, Jason Malumbi. Malumbi got sent off, yeah. So we need to keep our discipline, get the goals, and try not to lose 10 in a row.
I'm not expecting a classic, John, if I'm honest.
No.
Prime time, Monday night, no other games on. They picked a good one here, haven't they? They really have.
Can I just mention the fact as well that Leicester are, you're being too kind. Leicester are worse than Dyer. They
are absolutely.
They are. I wouldn't even pay my paper round money back in 1970 something to go and watch them now. That's how dire they are. So I'm positive that, as much as I know that, in my opinion, obviously, that Ryan Mason's not going to last at West Brom, I'm sure they'll turn up, and if they can't beat that Leicester side, then they need to be looking themselves in another mirror. So I'm confident. I'm more confident that West Brom should beat Leicester than the way they are at present.
Okay.
I will say one thing to add to that. Some of the West Brom social medias, as soon as Enzo Macreza got sacked from Chelsea, he used to be at Enzo Macreza.
Yeah. Enzo Macreza? Who's Enzo Macreza?
Macreza. Yeah,
Maresca.
He used to
play for West Brom.
I know, and I always called him Macreza for some reason. So, yeah, he used to play for us. So a lot of Albion fans are basically saying, if Ryan Mason doesn't win this game tonight, get rid of him and get Enzo in.
Yeah, with the greatest of respect, I think he might be looking slightly higher in his next.
He left Leicester as well, didn't he? So he's not.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, he did. Do you know what? He looked nothing like he does now when he played for West Brom. If you can think about that,
I know.
Yeah, full hair, completely unrecognisable to Enzo. Mascara, whatever he's called, that you see now. But yeah, we're going to talk about managers very shortly, as well as looking back at the action from the weekend at Villa Park when we come back on the Monday after.
BHBN Radio has been going since 1952. It is run entirely by volunteers, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. Right now, BHBN needs friends like you to ensure it can broadcast to hospitals, care homes, and into the community for many more years to come. You can help by donating through our Just GoFundMe account. It's easy. Simply go to our website, bhbn.net, scan our GoFundMe QR code, and in a few clicks, you can help us out. If you're a taxpayer, you can give 25% more through gift aid at no extra cost to you.
BHBN Radio.
It's the Monday after from the sports team here at BHBM Radio, providing coverage of West Midlands football across the wards on a weekly basis. Like we said, we had a double header on Saturday. We talked about Wolves' victory against West Ham. A couple of hours before that at Villa Park, Aston Villa beats Nottingham Forest by 3-1. Ollie Watkins and a double for Super John McGinn. And it was pretty routine stuff in terms of Aston Villa and their home form. Wasn't a brilliant game by any stretch of the imagination. I think Sean Dyche had a lot to do with that, quite frankly, with his tactics, and it was to frustrate Villa as much as they could, but they stayed patient. And Ollie Watkins, it looked a worldie live, but well, the Forest goalkeeper had quite a few questions to answer, I think, from what happened on Saturday, especially the third goal where he's come running out.
Yeah.
Here's the question: is anybody convinced that he was injured once McGinn had put that ball into the net?
Absolutely not.
That's going to be the worst acting you've ever seen in a professional footballer.
Well, another one involves a Villa game. Do you remember there was an incident at Newcastle? I can't remember who the Newcastle player was, where point blank range, the Villa player has a shot, and the Newcastle defender stops it with his hand, and then he grabs onto his chest, and then he falls down and rolls on the. Does anybody remember this?
I do, yes.
I can't remember who it was, but that's brilliant. No,
Stephen Taylor. Was it Stephen Taylor?
Stephen Taylor could be.
I think it's Stephen Taylor.
So that's what I was thinking. As soon as he put his hand up, I said, "No, John, you're not. You're not injured at all." And I want to say, and I did say this in the commentary, fair play to our own Connor Porter, as a Forest fan who handled it with grace and dignity. Yeah. Not sure I would have had it been the other way around. So fair play to him. But
it's a true pro, Connor.
100%, absolutely, yeah. No doubt about that. And it's what should the perspective be for? I mean, I could say give my thoughts as a Villa fan, but I need to ask the panel what should the perspective be? Is it Arsenal proved with the 4-1 victory that they are too far ahead and it's not a title race, despite what people might have said a week ago? Or is it keep the distance between the team in fifth? Because there's so many results. I mean, let's look at Liverpool, for instance, in fourth place, and we can do this with Enton. That goal from Harrison Reed. How has he done that, by the way? And that moment when you think that's Harrison Reed who's just scored that goal. Harrison Reed doesn't even play football, let alone score goals like that. Yeah, and it's like jaw-dropping stuff. But that's 2 points dropped from Liverpool, and that's now a 9-point gap. So what do Villa need to do, Enton, to stay focused where it's generally accepted they're not going to win the title or push for the title? Yeah. And it's a big gap between them. How do they keep that focus going throughout the remainder of the season without taking their eye off the ball?
Just by doing what they're doing. Unity. They're a unified team. They've got to keeping Watkins fit will always have a benefit for Villa. Like you said, Super John McGinn is obviously talisman when they need him to be, but it's you know your football yourself. So the question is like how they the way they're playing, they've got so much going for them. So every footballer within that in that squad at Villa Park a minute, they can't wait for the next game because they want to be playing. They're winning. Yeah, they've had a few blips along the way, but fundamentally they're creating a winning mentality in the squad. You've got some great players, and the cinematic moment for the season will be that Arsenal game. There is no question that will be
the first one. Not the one midweek, the one we don't want to talk about. The one a few weeks ago.
The one that like somebody on social media did a nice little picture on it. But anyway, going back to the point. Aston Villa have they found ways to win. So the squad, obviously, any manager wants to increase the squad and get better players to come in, but they've got more chance of sitting in the top four than Liverpool have, because Liverpool play one way and they get caught out all the time. Now, the worldie that chap scored at the weekend, it goes in rosette 9 times out of 10, but this time happened to go in the top corner. But Villa have more confidence. They are that squad. They're itching, and this is my opinion. I think they're itching to play the next game. They can't wait to get out to play the next game.
Well, the next game Wednesday night is our kryptonite, and that's Crystal Palace.
I was just gonna say that.
Well,
Palace
again,
at Selhurst Park.
But they've had the results, so they can walk into Superman is Superman, isn't it? So they can either be Clark Kent if they want to be, but they're Superman. They're going in there with a lot more riding on it than a lot more confidence, than they have done in previous meetings.
Palace look absolutely knackered at the moment. They really do. I mean, they've gone to the well with the conference. I mean, a club that's just not equipped for a European campaign at the first go, and that's become obvious. Even if it's the Conference League, it's just not something the club is designed at the moment to be able to pursue, and it's frustrating. Glasner, that's for sure. Mateta's out, yes, and and there's a real opportunity here to do something. But Oliver Glasner, he is one of the aforementioned people at the head of the list for. There's a vacancy at Manchester United. I don't know if anybody's heard that this morning.
Yes, he's on the list.
Oh yeah,
he's on the list. Unai Emery is on the list as well, apparently, which is just.
I was actually winding Mike up today.
Ludicrous.
I was winding Mike up today because you're going to lose him.
I'll tell you.
You are on the list.
Look. Ruben Amorim came out and said, "I am the manager. I'm not the head coach. I'm the manager. I should be in charge." They fired him. Do you think Unai Emery is going to walk into Old Trafford under that structure and hierarchy as they currently are? 5 years' time, he might well be the manager of Manchester United. Not now. Not now, where there's things to be done and things that are happening. But there are some people who speak with suspicious sort of southern kind of accent, but claiming to be a Manchester United fan. I don't know why that would be, but who believe it's their birthright that they should have managers like Unai Emery, and it don't work like that. You are not what you were, and it's as simple as that, right? And Unai Emery is too smart to fall for anything that they would approach you with right now. And I can see Glasner getting it at the start of next season, quite frankly.
Is he the actual favourite?
I don't care. Oh, sorry. Sorry. Is he the favourite? Yes, he is. I thought he was asking, is he my favourite?
No.
I don't know why you're asking. I'm going to give him monkeys, quite frankly.
Is he the bookie's favourite at the minute?
He is.
Glasner's the one. Yeah. Okay.
Yes, he is.
So he's more likely there's going to be him than, isn't it?
Absolutely.
We know in general, Ben, you just don't care about Man United.
No,
anyway,
I don't.
But
Yes.
No, I don't.
there you go.
I'll second that.
No, I don't. My general feeling is that if you have no long-standing connection to the club, you don't have to come from Manchester, but if there is no long-standing family connection with the club, you've got no business commenting on the game, quite frankly. Right? I'm surprised if you even have a reflection when you look in the mirror. Right? You are soulless, you are clueless, and for making those really easy decisions 20 odd years ago, you're now paying for that. You're paying for that. Where the likes of us, we went and watched our football teams as kids, and we stuck with them all throughout our lives. And we've been through some rough times as a Villa fan, a Blues fan, a West Brom fan, from a local point of view. Glory hunting Man United fans, they can sling it as far as I'm concerned, right? And then moaning that they're not getting their own way about stuff. Go and support a proper team. Go and support your own club, for goodness sake. I would rather have, as a Villa fan, I had more time, even at school, I had more time for kids who were Blues fans, who were West Brom fans, because they were real, they were genuine. United fans aren't. They're just not. And I don't know what it's like now with kids in the playgrounds. Are there more Man City fans now? Is that just the way it's gone? Are there going to be more Arsenal fans if they're successful over the next couple of years with Arteta? But generally, it is Man United. Now, people could say, and I'll be quick on this, well, it was the same in the 70s and the 80s with Liverpool. I would argue that it's not the same, right? And I'm not saying that just to be kind because we've got a Liverpool fan here, right? In general, in the 70s and 80s, the football that you watched week in, week out was with your own eyes at a stadium at 3 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon. You went to Villa Park, you went to St Andrews, you went to Hawthorns, you went to Molineux. But you'd get home and you'd watch Match of the Day and Liverpool would be on there. So you would admire teams like Liverpool, right? But you would still have within your core the team that you'd gone to watch that Saturday afternoon. With Sky coming in the 90s and the upsurge of Man United, they put all their eggs in one basket. Right, that's the team for me because they win every week. And because they made that choice, right, without putting in the hard yards of actually going to support a proper football team, now they're getting everything they deserve. And I love it. I absolutely revel in how bad Man United are and how they are suffering because they deserve it.
You should give us your best Kevin Keegan.
Well, but I was annoyed then. Even back then, I was annoyed because they shouldn't have blown it. They shouldn't have blown it in the first place, right? I'm always a big believer in the right team wins the league because that's why we have the league. You can never dispute who wins the league.
Yes.
Right. Newcastle should have won it, but they didn't, and they didn't deserve to for that reason.
Yeah.
Right. But on the flip side, we've only got 2 minutes. I have more respect now for Sir Alex Ferguson than I ever did when he was managing Man United.
Yeah, of course.
You know, because you see what they are now, and you think he wouldn't have put up with any of this back then.
No.
You know what I mean? And so I do actually have a lot more time for him now than I did, mainly because they were buying our players. That was what it was. They were buying Dwight York and Ashley Young and what have you.
Yeah.
But not now, not this. That they can stew in their own juice and filth, and I don't care. Quite frankly.
I'm with you.
And on that note, we will leave it there. Ed Mackay's got another window of opportunity coming up in the next few days. We're going to have more content on our YouTube channel and our TikTok. I'm heading down to Spurs this weekend for the FA Cup tie between Villa and Spurs. I've not been to the new Spurs stadium before, so I'm looking forward to that one. And we will be back next Monday. And I promise we won't be late, but that will be fine for Enton Barefoot, Kim Smith, Jonathan Wimbush is about to go and watch West Brom. I'm Ben Ellis, and we'll see you next week.
Birmingham Sports
with Ben Ellis.
This is BHBN Radio.